Hello, my name is Kamela and I'm with Creative Moms Decant. So today I'm going to show you some basics of UV resin. It's the first thing that started making me want to Cricut, and I have not been able to put it down since. So let's jump in for some great beginner tips. So I'm going to show you what you need to get started. The first thing you're going to need is UV resin. I will tell you that this is my favorite kind. I've tried several different kinds, but this is the Craft Chameleon UV resin, and it is what we will be using today. This was the first resin that I ever chose to use, and it's by Limo. I'm not sure how to say it really. It's fine. It's more runny, and I have found that over time it is putting a tint of yellow in my items. So Christmas ornaments that I made 3 years ago with this resin that I've pulled out are starting, and it's really hard to tell on camera because I already kind of peeked at that, but they are starting to turn a little bit yellow, especially on the sides. So it's a great beginner resin. Any of the UV resin out there probably is. But it's runny, it's not my favorite, and it will turn yellow over time. So this is my preferred resin. You will need some type of brush or device to move it around. You can use silicone stir sticks, or I used those, this is not one, but I used those cheapy paintbrushes that you can get from Dollar Tree to start, and it was no big deal. And then that's technically all you need is your resin and the blanks. I'm sorry, you have to have, for my method, we do blanks. I will show you how to do some pouring. I've been doing it recently, but it's tricky with UV resin. So for today, we're using acrylic blanks. These will be clear when we pull the covers off, and blanks. So that's essentially what you need. I'm going to guess that you're going to want to add some glitter or some mica powder for colorant. You could also use alcohol inks or resin colorants. My preferred coloring methods are the mica powder and glitter. And you could also use vinyl. I have a piece back here. This is just a red and green circle vinyl. But you could use vinyl, and you could cut out shapes, entire cover, all kinds of ideas with that, especially if you have a Cricut machine. So today we're going to show you the resin basics. So we pull this blank or this paper cover off, and they pull off with a fingernail. Super easy. And then you can do a couple different things. So most recently, I've actually been doing this pour glitter method that I'm kind of in love with. So I'm going to start with that. I'm going to move these two out of my way. So to do this method, you're going to put the resin right onto the blank and just spread it all around. So you can use whichever brush you're comfortable with. The pack that I will link is a pack of six or eight silicone brushes, and they move things around really easily, and these are my favorites, but they all work well. It does not take much resin, and it's very easy to get too much. So you just kind of want to watch that. I also am keeping resin off of the bulb top for right now. We will get it colored in a bit, but we're going to pour the glitter on this. So I'm just going to finish spreading this all around, and then we'll be ready to pour. So I have the resin spread all over except this top part. Let me bring it to the camera and see if you can see. So the cool thing about these is, so you can kind of see that line where I stopped, is this didn't have to be a perfect line because I don't think bulb tops are perfect. So, all right, so I have the resin all over it. And now I'm going to use the Blueberry Bliss for this. I am in a big blue and white Christmas mood, like so much that I could go buy a Christmas tree. Don't tell my husband. Oh wait, this is public. Okay, so I'm going to just carefully pour, and yes, pour, but as best even as I can, but the resin will help you with that. So I'm going to pour it completely. It's kind of fun to do this way, and it's not near as wasteful as it looks. All right. So silly me, forgot to tell you that another essential item you will need is a UV light. That's going to be essential. So I will link mine in the description. I have a Sun BQ5T. It's 120 amps, and I don't recommend much less. I just don't. So I'm going to pick this up, and I'm going to shake off the glitter. So you kind of just tap the back. Just make sure you don't touch anywhere in the front. So I kind of check it. And I'm not concerned that this looks like it has glitter here, because it actually doesn't. I mean, it's not stuck. I'll be able to wipe it off when it dries. So I'm going to stick this underneath my lamp, and I'm going to go 99 seconds. I just always go for the max. So we will clean this up when this is complete. So we'll be right back. All right, so it should be, yes, we're good to go. So again, I just tap, well, or fling, because you know with me, if you're a member of my group, you know everything goes crazy when I'm doing videos. So I just kind of tap, and you can even rub it. It's cure, and it feels kind of sandy right now. But anyway, and all of the glitter will come off, and then this glitter is going to go back in the container, of course. So if you've got your kids watching, make sure they watch this part. I'm big on not wasting, and so we don't waste that glitter. Let's get it back in our container. So if you're a kiddo and you're watching, give me a comment below. I recently found out over Thanksgiving break that lots of kiddos watch me. So that's super fun. All right. So now you could put your vinyl or anything that you would like inside. And I have some really, really cool snowflakes that I want to do on one today, but this one is calling my favorite method, and it's a hand paint. So let's get set up for hand painting. So I'm going to grab a medicine cup, and I also like to use, actually I like to use this brush for hand painting, and just because it's nice and fine, and the other end of it is metal, and it cleans up real nice, so I like to use it too. I'm going to squirt in just a small amount. It won't take much. We're going to put snowflakes on this bulb, Christmas bulb. So I'm going to grab my mica powder here. I'm going to put in just a small amount, and I'll show you. I might have got a little too much powder, but we'll see. So it should be a little less than 50-50. That's going to be pretty much 50-50, or maybe a little more. Let's see where I'm at. I like it to be thick, and especially using white, but yes, this is too thick. So do you see here, let me get you in focus. Ooh, white is hard to get in focus. Okay, so it's kind of clumpy, and you don't want it to be clumpy and dry at all. So let me get some more resin in there, and then I'll see if I can get that in focus again, and I'll show you the consistency we're looking for. I am putting almost double resin in there. I had too much powder, so start smaller. Don't dump like I did. So the cool thing about UV resin, though, is none of this will go to waste, because we're going to put a lid on this, and I'm going to store it in a dark surface, a dark area that gets no sunlight, no heat, no, draft free, and it will last forever. So that's the consistency we're looking for. Let me show you that one more time. Let me get a good scoop. So that's great. All right. So I'm going to clean this up with just a wet wipe on the end of this brush. It's kind of splashed up to the top, but it's just because of the powder. It's actually not the resin, but it wouldn't hurt it. These brushes have held up for me really well. So I'm going to use the silicone end now, and I'm going to paint snowflakes on here. So to do that, I'm going to start with a dot in the center. Good size dot. Grab a little more of my brush. Good size dot, and then I'm going to string out some long lines. I'm just working it from the middle to the end, and maybe my ends got a little clumpy, so that away. So you can draw these snowflakes too, just on paper, some Christmas cards. Have you ever done the crayon where you use white crayons and then you color with like blue paint? So you could use white crayons and use blue paint. So use the crayons to make your snowflakes first. All right, so I almost have this beautiful start of a snowflake, and all it was lines. So far, super easy, right? We're going to drag this one through too. And they don't have to be perfect. Well, it will be perfect because is there a perfect snowflake? I mean, I've seen some really pretty ones. But, okay, so next we are going to put V's, kind of wide V's on the ends of, you could do all of them or you could do some of them. So wide V's on the ends. You let me know in the comments if you're practicing with white crayons. If you join my Creative Mom Decant group, I'll post it below, then you can share your kids' artwork. We love to see all work, whether it's from you, mothers, or from your kids. Okay, so I did pretty much all of them. I think I am going to go ahead and do this one. I don't think I'm going to do my other one. I think it would go off, so we're just going to leave it alone. And you can stop there, or you can add some cool just elements on the inside of your snowflakes. So you make the decision on how creative you get and how many details you want. If I was going to do multiple, I probably would have stopped, but I don't think I'm going to do another one on here at all. Now, once you put this underneath the light, it's done for. So that's how UV resin works. So you want to make sure it's correct. And the other cool thing is when you're painting and your underlayer is solid, you could use a wet wipe and erase. So just keep that in mind. You get a couple shots. But this was very, very basic painting, and it's really going to look pretty. So we're going to stick this under the light for 90 seconds at 99 because that's my largest button. And we'll be right back to finish this one up. All right, so we're really close to finishing this one, which is fun. So I'm going to get my resin on the top, and we're going to pour again. And I think I'm going to use this Champagne Dream. It's kind of a goldish, and I think that'd be really pretty on the top. So again, just a little bit of resin. I'm going to slide this brush, clean it with my, and all the way to the edges here. I need just a smidge more. So this, you can tell that wasn't, see how that's streaky? That's not quite enough resin. We do want it to be a solid smooth coat. So just a little more resin. And all the way out to the edge. And Champagne Dream then. And I don't have to worry too much because this is all set, including my snowflake. So I'm just going to pinch this time, and I am looking for a not a solid, maybe almost solid. I'm going to stop there, but not quite look on this one. And there we go. And it goes under the light to cure that one. So I am going to take a quick break because it's, you know, last swallow time, and that's a problem. So I'm going to brew another cup of coffee, and then we'll be back. All right, that coffee is way too hot to drink, but I'm excited. Oh my goodness, it is coming along so nicely. So now it's just like your seal and your coat that makes it shiny. It's fine, it's durable like this, it feels like glitter. I prefer to cover them one more time, so I'm going to cover the complete ornament with resin from top to bottom this time. And again, it doesn't take a thick coat, but I'm gonna do a good coat this time. So I like to do a thick line in the middle and then just kind of trace my outside when I'm doing from the bottle. And now I'm gonna work with my brush to spread from the center to the edge. Sometimes you do need to hold these up to light. And if you see air bubbles, try to work those to the edge as you go. Although I will say the bubbles in Christmas ornaments aren't so bad. They are such a great UV resin beginner project. Just a pinch more up here at the top. And then I'm going to do a check in the light. So I will say that this glitter or this resin does not run over the edge easy. With that said, you do kind of have to chalk it into coming to the edge. So just keep that in mind, and I just make sure I seal all my edges and nothing is overflowing, and it is ready for the light at this point. Or you can, and I'm gonna go crazy because I only did one snowflake, so I have this sugar cookie glitter, and I'm just gonna pinch just a couple pinches of it. So that's it. My biggest pinch was in the bottom where that open spot is, and then just a few more pinches. I'll show you, and then we'll stick it under the light. So they're really hard to see on the camera, but they are really shiny, and it just makes that blue pop even more. So 99 seconds, and then we're gonna pull the back off, and I'll show you how I tie my hanger on. All right, we're at 95 seconds. So I just grabbed a piece of jute. I get this from the Dollar Tree, and I'm gonna line up my two ends, and that's about how long I want it. So I want both of these ends to go into the hole. So I use a tweezers. It just makes my life easier. Oh, and I forgot to pull the paper backing off. We'll do it in a minute, but you're going to pull that off first. So then I'm going to take these two ends and I'm going to go inside my circle and pull up. I like how that hangs on a Christmas tree. So that's what I've been doing. And then I will do a basic shoestring knot in the top. So I just do a loop and throw those two ends in and up, and I've got it. And you could trim those ends if you'd like. I probably will some. Let's pull the backing off so you can see how beautiful this looks actually on both sides. And they're really sparkly on a Christmas tree. They're really fun ornaments. I like them. Look how bright that is. Oh my gosh, see how much it's picking up the light in here, and it picks up your Christmas tree lights as well. And in person is, you know, of course always better, but boy, I'm telling you, on camera that is looking shiny and fun. So I am going to see if I can go live in our Creative Moms Decant group, and I'm going to either do my stocking or I'm going to do this snow globe. So join us over there. I'll link it. You'll find this video, and we'll be back for another one. We're just a bunch of creative moms doing creative mom things. Bye-bye.